So, while listening to a lecture in Intro to Religious Studies, something I learned reminded me of warrior cats. Then I made a bunch of other connections, and it turns out that though StarClan may be unusual, the cats have a lot of things in common with real world religions. Yeah, this video isn't going to be revealing anything revolutionary, but I thought it would be interesting to explain concepts of religious studies using warrior cats and StarClan as an example. This is some entry level stuff, but I think it's interesting at least. First of all, what is religion? It depends on who you ask. There is no simple definition because everybody has different ideas about what religion means to them. In this case, we're talking about how religion functions in society, which is to say, what it does. You might think religion is about worshipping a god or multiple gods, but Confucianism is considered a religion, and there are no gods associated with it. You might think it's about community, but in that case, a fandom could be considered a religion, and that's not correct. Or is it? Maybe something is a religion if it has a set of holy places, but that would mean that theater, banks, and cinema are all religions. So is everything a religion? Probably not. The best definition we can come up with is that religion is social glue. This concept is brought forth by Emil Durkheim, or as my sociology teacher said, Durkheim! He is the father of modern sociology, and basically social glue means that religion is the get along t-shirt. It's not always easy to live with other people even though it's for the best, so religion is a way to help people live with each other. All those people who say that they want to abolish religion really mean that they want to abolish specific religions. Religion as a concept seems to be tied closely to humanity, and possibly to animals too, depending on how intelligent you think they are. That might have to do with the fact that humans have a sense of wonder. Think about watching a thunderstorm, or maybe looking up at the stars at night. That feeling is part of what makes religion religion. Most religions have a system of ethics, much like the warrior code. There are three philosophical ethical theories: virtue, deontological or duty, and utilitarianism. Of the three, which one is the warrior code? I may do brief videos on the other two, but for now, here are basic definitions. Virtue ethics is about intent rather than actions, being rather than doing, and it also emphasizes growth. Deontological, or duty ethics, is about doing the right thing because it is your duty. Utilitarianism is a very mathematical ethical theory where the ends justify the means. As long as more people are happy than are unhappy, then the action is ethical. This is called the hedonistic calculus. Of the three, the warrior code is a good example of duty ethics. Similar to utilitarianism, duty ethics tries to be objective and avoid personal bias in decision making. How is duty determined? Immanuel Kant, the philosopher who defined duty ethics, says that humans, or in this case cats, are autonomous moral agents who have the ability to make decisions about right and wrong for ourselves, as opposed to other creatures like dogs, fish, and mice. Duty ethics only applies to behavior toward AMAs. Anything that is not an AMA is outside of these rules. These duties are universal. They apply to everyone no matter their background. An AMA must act in a way that they can wish their action universal. In other words, do I want to live in a world where everyone does this? This is how the warrior code was formed. If you read Codes of the Clans, this line of thinking is what is responsible for most of the rules put in place by the time we joined Firestar and ThunderClan. Intent matters. If you want to do your duty, but are unable to, then you are still considered an ethical person. But you have to want to do your duty, you can't just go through the motions. Longtail cannot hunt anymore because he's blind, but he wants to serve his clan despite his disability, which is why he has a place in the Elders' Den. The same is true of Briarlight. Of course, duties can conflict. For example, a ThunderClan patrol sees an injured StarClan kid that is across the StarClan border. Trespassing is against the rules, but neglecting a kid in trouble is also against the rules. If they decide to help the kid by bringing it to StarClan camp or to their own camp, they could get attacked for trespassing or kid stealing. If they leave the kid alone, they could get in trouble for leaving a kid to die. That is one flaw in the system. There are also 3 religious ethics, 2 extremes and 1 compromise. Relativism states that ethics change from person to person and culture to culture. Therefore, there are no rules and we cannot judge other people because they have different ethics than us. However, this prohibits moral learning. For example, Broken Star was a bad leader. ThunderClan couldn't just say, oh, it's okay for ShadowClan to have a leader like that because that's the way they do things. We do things differently. He was a danger to the whole forest, and his way of leading was hurting the cats in his own clan. If he were allowed to rule unopposed, it would set a dangerous precedent for the rest of the clans. Universalism states that one set of rules is correct for every single person on Earth, no exceptions. However, this doesn't allow ethics to change as society evolves, and there is some change in ethics from culture to culture. While the forest clans are okay with following the warrior code, it wouldn't make much sense for a rogue or a kitty pet to follow these rules. It would make solitary or small group life incredibly difficult. And the tribe lives in a completely different environment, with scarcer prey and little opposition from enemy cats. So many of the rules of the warrior code would not be useful to them and would actually cause more problems than they solve. The cats learn this when they try to help the tribe cats defend themselves from intruders. Therefore, there was a compromise called soft universalism, which combines the two. There are some things that every cat agrees on, such as the need for territory, the need to protect kits, and prey regulation. However, different groups of cats have different ways of doing things. SkyClan is a lot more lax about the borders than the forest clans, because they share a lot of their territory with rogues and they don't have any other clans to compete with. Rogues have their own individual territories and mind their own business, though they will help family and friends in need. Kitty pets have no need to regulate territory, prey, or other challenges that come with living in the wild. The clan cats respect these ways of life. They don't bother non-clan cats unless the non-clan cats are the ones to start things, such as Blood Clan. In short, the warrior code is a deontological ethical system combined with soft universalism. It is an atheistic religion where the emphasis is on spirits rather than deities. This video has gone on for a while and my voice is getting hoarse, so I will continue my incredibly boring lecture in part 2 where I talk about ritual.